Yo, what is up? I just finished watching the FNAF 2 movie, and I got a lot to say about it. I got a lot to say about it. One, they did justice. Two, critics are like garbage. I don't know why the critics are bashing it. Three, they did everything as the game intended. Definitely. Mangle was a menace. They didn't reveal Mangle till very soon, which was the car scene with Cassie and Mangle, and that was crazy. I didn't like the fact with the marionette. Sorry, that she was a spirit instead of that was taking control of the human body instead of the marionette herself going outside and escaping. Now, I did find it really cool that they explained why that her vengeful spirit. It's a vengeful spirit. But if that was the case, like in the game, because it is closely related to the game, you would have to go from the game's perspective. If the marionette could have took our spirit, why didn't she do that night one? I think they changed the plot. They changed the plot from the game. The game, she just jumps at you if you don't wind the box, right? Cool. But Foxy almost Foxy was there every single time it got to a point where like the animatronics was about to surround the security guard. Mike Schmidt, he always like found a way to shut down the system before danger really got to him. I do feel like this movie feels like nobody got hurt. The first movie felt like there was blood. Well, people got hurt in this movie. Let me say that. But the main security guard didn't. And it makes sense because if in a game you're not getting hurt at all. But in the first game, he was getting sliced. He was getting introduced to the new animatronics. Now, one thing I don't like about this is that I thought sincerely that the toy animatronics, the second variant of them, or the first variant, if you will, because that's the first location, I thought that's where the spirits of the children went. And that's how they was able to talk to Mike's sister. And Mike's little sister, let me see what's her name. 1 second. Abby Schmidt. So Abby, she has this sort of connection with these fools. I don't know what connection she has to these animatronics. Like, cool. I do think it is cool that the animatronics do sympathize with the actual child and they like her. But I also think like it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Now, there's no way that the marionette was powering the old animatronic bodies that we thought was the original, but the original people, the original bodies from the first movie came at the finale to actually take out the toy and the old. I really thought that was weird because isn't the old animatronics that came out to take out the toy animatronics at the final scene in the final fight, aren't they supposed to be the actual children? Why did they use the newer models from the first movie? The newer models should have been rusted. It should have been rusted for FNAF 2. The older models, the older one from the FNAF 1 game is rusted. The movie models, or, the new models that they use from the first movie was the actual animatronics versus the toy. It makes sense. I really like the fact that how, like, Chica was like, oh, so you've been, like, tricking my friend Abby, huh? Abby, I'm her favorite. I'm, like, one of her favorite animatronics. You sitting here, like, playing her? You know what Chica did? Grabbed her head and just yeeted it off, bro. It was fun. It was funny. I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. But the toy Chica, I don't know. It felt like they had a genuine connection between Chica and the actual the toy. The toy. It's crazy because I really thought the toy Chica was actually genuine. Like, yeah, they was under the marionette's control, but it felt like the toy animatronics also had a will of their own. So they could have, like, warned Abby in a sense, but no. Plot points was the marionette was controlling all of the animatronics, except for the original, apparently, which should have been rusted. They wasn't made to go outside of the parameters. The marionette entire goal was to keep these guys, the humans that are trying to stop them, killed or out the way, so that they can bring terror to all the parents, because the marionette feels some type of way. She got bodied, and the parents did absolutely nothing. It's a vengeful spirit, basically. Them going outside, the animatronics going outside. Like FNAF 2, we was inside the office. In the movie, they're going to science fairs. They're going to like outside in the amusement park. Freddy out here walking like, oh my gosh, that's a really good costume. What are you gonna do? You're a little fat. The kid was like, you look fat. He's like, hey, be nice. He's like, what are you about to do, mister? I'm gonna go tear the head off somebody. Of some evil bad guys. And I'm just like, what? And the animatronics went to these people's houses just to just to kill them. I found that like they're doing FNAF at a higher scale. They're doing it at a scale when it could be simplified, was what I mean. Like, I do think Sister, compared to like the games kept everything inside the office. Maybe it should have explored more of in that area. And not saying keep it in that area, but the whole fact of the animatronics being able to hit, you know, the taxi cab driver, aka Corey X Kenshin. Corey X Kenshin was inside there. He just keeps driving Abby, and he brought Chica. I was like, yo, you're gonna bring Chica outside in public? These animatronics are made to go outside in public? You crazy? But, you know, it made sense because Toy Chica did trick Abby to bring her to there. But, you know what? This is where I say, this is my theory. This is my theory, right? When Chica helped Abby, Toy, this is the Toy, not the original Chica. Not the Chica that, you know, she loves. Not the original Chica. This is the Toy Chica. When the Toy Chica found out that her science fair project guy, it's the fat dude with glasses, right, broke Abby's project, you know what Chica did? I'm gonna go see what's going on inside his head. She got really mad for breaking the project. Like the marionette, she doesn't care nothing about. It seemed like the marionette cared about her. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it was the marionette controlling her or if it was Chica herself, the Toy Chica, having a conscience of herself. It was like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm being controlled, yes, but frick that. This guy gotta get killed. He gotta die. He out. And it's crazy because Chica definitely like fought him. Like he got fought, bro. Like she murked him. That's it. She murked him. I don't think the marionette told Chica to do that. It was just Chica went Toy Chica, Toy. One thing I will say, they seen Chica. Yes, the marionette could have been controlling Chica, but Chica it felt like the toys had a great bond with Abby. It was just whenever the marionette and Cassie were like talking, marionette was like, oh, you sure? You sure I'm not gonna like kill Abby? I will kill her. I will murk her now. But besides all that, it seems like the toy animatronics, they were cool with her. They're cool with Abby. Like they don't care about Abby. To be honest, they're cool. They're just chilling. Oh, that's Abby? Yo, what's up? Hi, Abby. Hi. Everybody else that enters that place, frick that. They're dying. Abby, come in. What's up? Yo, you the gang. You the gang for real. Like, you fam. What's up? You good? Oh, okay. Yo, you want a fast slushy? I bet. Everybody else, they're like, who the frick is this guy? We gotta kill him. Nah. You can't be in our establishment, bro. You gotta go. No, you won't leave. You're gonna get murked. My bad. You're gonna get murked. Every freaking squad that comes into these movies, I noticed there's like a pattern. The first movie also had this thing where there was this one group that adventured inside the location first before Abby and the main character Mike and Cassie. And they get murked in the most horrible of ways. I didn't know the person that was under the water was Balloon Boy. I won't lie. When they did Balloon Boy, he did Balloon Boy so dirty. He's like, hello. And then he just like, hello this. Freaking took his head. I thought he was going to soccer ball kick it. That would have been funny as freak. But like, damn, bro. I feel like Balloon Boy, he didn't get that much screen time as much as I wanted him to. He was annoying, but he wasn't messing up like the consoles. That's my only thing. So when Balloon Boy appears in the games, he's like, hello. And like, your computer just stops working. You're not able to use your flashlight. You gotta do something to get this guy out of here, bro. Cause he's not moving. He's not moving. He ain't moving. He's gonna be in your office till you he leaves, bro. He's there to annoy you. So they did not implement that at all. They did not implement that at all. Now, I did see that the animatronics, whenever the animatronics was close to Mike was he was killing distance. Like, if this was the game, the animatronics do come into the room. The way how close the animatronics was to Mike, you would think he would be dead. He don't have time to put on that mask. How many times you played night 5 or night 4 and you put the mask on late and you just die? It would have been crazy if he would have took some damage. Now, hear me out when I say this. I want to go into this section now. Cassie. I think Cassie was revealed way too early. I don't know why. As a cast member, I think she's revealed way too early. And this is why. She's security breach, bro. She's security breach. Now, I haven't read the book, so I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But we're not supposed to see her till, far. We're not supposed to see her till, far. It's crazy. And, the little teaser, I don't know if you guys stuck around for the teaser. The teaser was the marionette took over her body. But they also did say that Springtrap, the third movie, Springtrap is going to come back but stronger, is what they said. How are they going to implement that? Are they going to do the thing where he's going outside in public and trying to kill everybody? The cameras, right? The camera system was not being used. I will say, the one thing that makes FNAF is the cameras, right? He wasn't looking at the cameras. He was trying to track where the animatronics were at. And just having a tracker feels like having a cheat system to the original way of FNAF is. But this is me just pointing it out from a game perspective versus the movie. This is not me, bantering on it. I do think it was cool. The adaptation was good. To me, I rated it 10 out of 10. There was just questionable decisions. This was a movie for the people who enjoy FNAF. It wasn't supposed to be some high-notch top film. Nah. This was for the fans. You love the series? Here's the movie. Here's a movie. Merry Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, lore bell here that you don't need. Nah, frick that. Look, you already know the basics. We're going to put a little spin to it. Make it refresh. Make it fresh and new. Here you go. There's questionable decisions, though, with it. How are they going to continue doing the outside thing? If they're going outside already, security breach, and I want to see how they're going to do security breach. This is my predictions for the next movies coming up. Security breach, they're going to have to split security breach in parts. I don't think they're going to be able to fit the entire security breach in one movie. I'm going to just be quietly honest. They got so much analog and maintenance logs they have to do. I don't know if you guys paid attention to the maintenance logs or you read the maintenance logs of security breach, but if they're gonna put actual game things inside there, they're gonna have to put the maintenance logs, what happened to the people who complained, customer service complaints and stuff like that. They're gonna have to explain what happened to Bonnie. They have to do so much. I don't know if you guys felt like the scene. I don't know. I think they just took it to a higher scale too fast. That's pretty much it. I wasn't expecting the animatronics to be in broad daylight talking about in cause William asked him. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have the entire city killed." He wanted the entire city, the town, off. But it didn't feel like that. It didn't. It felt like there wasn't, I will say, there's not enough. Yeah, there's not enough animatronics to do that. I feel like if I see Freddy, yeah, he's strong, but, you're gonna kill the entire, town by, daytime? Broski, I'm not gonna lie, that's weird, bro. I don't know. I just didn't like how he said he was gonna kill the entire town with, these Marionette, I do think Marionette is the only one that can do that. Sincerely, Marionette, she can go from body to body, bro. That ability is broken. That ability is just broken in itself. She can kill the entire town. It's just going to take her some time. She has to keep leeching off body after body, but she could do it. She can definitely do it. 100%. But the animatronic Mangle is a menace to society. Her survivability because of the children mangling with her, no pun intended. I do think like if she was able to withstand a car crash, a car bashing into the left, and Mangle's still out here trying to stab Cassie. Yeah, the Mangle, she's definitely unkillable, bro. You're gonna have to really like run her down somewhere, or like, you know, fire her with a wrecking ball. I came in like a wrecking ball. She might just bazoing. She might bazoing off of it because it's like she's mangled, bro. Like, you know, the old animatronics, they love referencing the games, and I love that. I love that part. They loved referencing the games. They even had the mask. Oh my gosh, they put the mask on. W. Freak that jerk ass teacher. Let's talk about that jerk ass teacher. Oh, you can't bring your science lab, he I don't know, he has something against Abby. Why would you do that? Why would you sit there? He's like, you know what? Let's be a good little otter and don't pull up to my science fair project. And yeah, you know, sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself so other otters can win. You're still the otter, but you know, sometimes you got to know like this subject or this career path isn't for you. You know, he crosses her name off and just smiles at her and is like, huh. There was this one friend that Abby had at her school that was like, nope, you might have crossed her name out, but I have a space right here. And he goes and drops it. That's why I was saying I really don't know who, because it looked like Marinette was just looking at the animatronics viewpoint, and whenever she wanted to issue a command, she issued it by her controlling them. But when the animatronics was by and free, the toy, they were chill with Abby. I didn't see no, like, they was helping her. They was like, well, first, you have to help me. Okay, I will, you know. But it was more of, they was a little forceful. I don't advocate for murking your science teacher if he's a jerk and destroys it completely. He called her fat, your horrible science project. That's why Chica was like, I'm gonna have a few words with him. Don't worry. I'm gonna have a few words. Abby was like, what are you gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna just see what's going inside his head. To be honest, I like the toys. They have more personality. The old one, I'm not gonna lie, I like the newer design. The toys just looks so much better. I love the old design, right? I like the old design. Now, my only question is, where did they get the spirits to put in the toys? Because if Chica out here doing her own stuff while under control under the Marionette, where's the other spirits? Who else was killed? You know? That means they have to explain the spirits. Who else is walking Freddy? What spirit is in Toys Freddy? What spirit is in Toy Bonnie? These guys have like personalities of their own. You see it. They have unique, different personalities. Like, they're talking differently. This is without the Marionette's control. Whenever the Marionette controls them, their eyes glow red. Red or purple. They get very purple. The Withered isn't the original. Even though the Withered is supposed to be the original, we're just going to brush that part out, okay? The Withered and the FNAF 1 animatronics we saw in the first movie are two separate. They're two separate entities. For some reason, there's a third outfit. There's a third set of animatronics. And that's our original. The movie animatronics. I was a little tripped up by it. Foxy stayed with his design. Also, them breaking down at the house. That's sad that they had to come in and they went to Mike's house and they tried to, like, you know, end it all. Even like William was like, I don't know if it's William or somebody do correct me, but he was like, oh, word? You don't want to come and help me, you know, destroy and do what our father wanted us to do? No problem. Have their guts and bones break. That's what he said. And that was crazy, bro. I will say, from the technology that we have, I will say the animation is a little janky. Seeing how, like, it was still at times, like, I don't know how to put it, but they did. I know they did what they can. They did what they can. Those robots are expensive as they is. To make them move is a miracle, right? But there was some times where you saw it, and this feels a little stiff. Like, why are they moving like that? Like, this is like they move a certain way, but it wasn't fluent. You know, it wasn't fluent. It was more of like in the fighting scene, it was just look at my hands. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was just weird. It was stiff at times, is what I'm trying to say. The toys, they moved weird because they're toys, but it was more fluent than the actual original. Yes, the animatronics passed on. They went to heaven, they said. That's what they said. They don't know that Afton's going to pull them back. I wonder how they're going to how Afton's going to come back and pull those spirits back. That's going to be interesting to find out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I rambled on for too much. Overall rating, though, honest, 8 out of 10. Fan, because I'm a fan, 10 out of 10. I gave you guys points on what I like and what I didn't. Yeah, no, I do feel like I said, they introduced Cassie way too early. I would have liked her to be introduced with the security breach Ruin. Ruin feels like a movie in itself. They can do a movie on Ruin. Ruin? Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie. People hated security breach. I might have to cut that for another video. I might have to cut this for another video. But they hated security breach. But Ruin, my gosh. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Please. Make my God for his sacrifice, so we live again. Poof, turn.